Hello folks, welcome to my channel. It's all about racing. Today we're going to take a look at two Porsche 911 RXRs. One of those is by IXO, the other by Spark. The number 93 IXO over here on the left is a diecast model. It sells for about $50. In fact, that's what I paid for it. The one over here on the right is a Spark limited edition Porsche Dealership edition car, and it sells for about $90. The question is, are the two cars comparable, and is it worth $90 for the Spark as opposed to $50 for the IXO? Now, to be honest with you, I've looked over both of these cars, and both of them are very attractive vehicles. I got to be honest with you. A few years ago, I would have said an IXO was never close to a Spark, but IXO just gets better and better and better. And this is really a fabulous example of a 911 RXR, as is the Spark, and that is not unexpected. But if you take a look at the both of them, I mean, these are both 911 RSRs, both virtually the same identical models. Granted, the color scheme is different, but both are phenomenal. However, there are some disturbing trends that I have noted with the IXO to point out that it really hurts it when particularly if you're looking at it as being a comparable product to the Spark car. And the first thing has to do, and I'll take a look at the front fender here and show it to you, is there's a significant paint chip in this, and I actually found the paint itself on the wheel when I opened the box, but you can see right there where I have my brush, there's a little paint chip in the red. And I don't know if it's difficulty for paint adhesion to the fact that this is a die-cast car as opposed to a resin, but I have noticed paint mistakes in other IXO cars that I've got, either overflash or otherwise. But otherwise, the finish of this car is really, really good. A second problem, particularly that you can see from this side, is the application of the decal right in front of this vent. That is supposed to be a flat, and it is on the other side, but it's very poorly applied on this side. It almost looks crumpled, so to speak. And then the third thing is the driver decals just above the window. You can see Earl Bamble is done very, very nicely. Patrick Play is good, but Nick Tandy is all butchered up. And it looks like whoever applied it crumpled it or just plain didn't give a crap. And that's what you get. Comparative, if you look at the Spark, I mean, the Spark is just, it's just flawless. The finish is excellent. I have found no paint issues with it whatsoever. It is a resin model, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Application of decals is absolutely perfect. I mean, you take a look at it, it's exactly what you'd expect. And, there you have the drivers. You've got Bruni, Lietzen, Fred Makowicki. I mean, just perfectly done. Very nicely done. Looks phenomenal. Paint finish is excellent, just like you would expect from a Spark. Now we're going to take a look at the front of both cars. As you can see, both cars look very, very sharp, very comparable, I think. Take a closer look at the IXO. You can see very, very nicely done as far as the front finish looks good, the grille looks good, tow hook very nicely applied. The only drawback I see here compared to that of the Spark is the headlight detail, which is adequate at best. The paint just above the Porsche logo that you can see there, somewhat poorly applied. That little black splats that you see there are just not really nicely done or cleanly done. And if you take a look at the interior details of the cabin, they're good, just not exceptional. Now, if you take a look at the Spark model, very nicely done. You have fog lights on here that you don't have on the other one, but that's okay. I don't take off points for that. The grille looks very, very good. Headlights look exceptional. Paint nicely applied above the logo, much cleaner than on the IXO model. And if you look at the interior details, and it's kind of hard to see from here, we'll take a look from a different side, but it's clearly much cleaner, and you can see the seat belts, the steering wheel, the paddle shifters, and everything else. Very, very nicely done, but just a little bit better than that of the IXO. From the top standpoint, they all look very, very good, very sharp, very nicely done. I mean, the finish on both cars is really excellent. Here's the passenger side of both cars. Very, very nice, very, very clean with the IXO. One thing that IXO has done much better is, their wheel detail is exceptionally better than it used to be, a lot cleaner. And you remember that one decal that was kind of crumpled up? Well, it looks a whole lot better on this side, and that's encouraging. And then all of a sudden you look at the drivers, and uh-oh, what do we see? Well, Tandy looks good, Play looks good, but this time they screwed up the Bamber decal. I mean, come on, guys. It's a $50 car. We can do better than this. Very disappointing. Take a look at the Spark model, and as you would expect, it's utterly flawless. Very, very sharp. Wheel detail looks good. Decals are applied nicely and as they should, and the names are perfect. Again, it's the little things, but they add up. Now here you have a nice look at the back of both of the cars, and these cars both look really sharp. Very, very good. We'll take a closer look at the IXO here, and a couple things that stand out, particularly to me. I don't know if you have noticed them, but looking at the rear tail lights, particularly on the right-hand side here, and I'll try to, I don't know if you, shoot, sorry about that. I was trying to get my hand around here to grab. If you look at the way the tail light is applied, it almost looks like the plastic lens is broken there. Not very, very clean. It's much better on the right side, but the left-hand side does not look very good. Again, a little bit of a, I guess you could call it a misstep or a quality control issue with the IXO. And at $50, it's, quite frankly, it's unacceptable. You take a look at the Spark. The taillights look, quite frankly, much better than they do. The detail is much cleaner than that of the IXO. Look how good they look. Look how cleanly they're applied. Then go to look at the IXO, and it's kind of like, so-so, not great. Tail light looks okay. The exhaust looks okay. The trim on the diffuser is good. The tow hook is good. And take a look at the Spark model, and again, it's a little bit cleaner all the way around. Notice they also have the aluminum, I guess you could call it, right below the exhaust. They put a little bit of aluminum there to protect it from the heat from the exhaust. A nice little detail that you have on the Spark model that you don't have on the IXO. But again, very, very clean. Taillights look excellent. It looks sharp. Again, it's just the small things. And I consider these quality control issues that really plague the IXO model compared to the Spark. But otherwise, both models look really good. From a distance, they're very, very sharp. And, I've seen a lot of quite frankly, videos over the years comparing IXO to Spark, mostly in 1/18 scale from the reviewers. And, their opinion is always, well, you can get the IXO model for about $100, about $250 for the Spark. Is it worth it? Yeah, I think in some cases, but particularly in this case, when you're looking at a $50 car that has some obvious quality control issues compared to the $90 Spark, I'll spend my money on the $90 Spark and pass on the $50 IXO. Thanks for viewing. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and take care.